In this research project, I investigate how financial systems influence creative practices in fields like game design, architecture, and media art. I chose this topic because one of my constant concerns as a creative person has been how to produce meaningful artistic work within a professional environment. In my experience working in architecture offices, I've often faced situations where I had to convince clients to value the creative aspects of a project, not just the technical or functional parts. Furthermore, many artists and designers face the same dilemma, staying original or being marketable. Also, I've seen how limited funding can shape or even block creative decisions. Some creators still innovate under financial pressure. I wanted to understand how, and can commerce and creativity support each other, or are they always in conflict? So, what exactly is creativity? It's a complex concept that has been studied from different perspectives over the years. One of the earliest stories comes from J.P. Guilford in 1950. He introduced the idea of divergent thinking, the ability to generate many different ideas from a single problem. This type of thinking is at the heart of creativity. Then, in 1961, Melrose proposed the 4P model: person, process, product, and press. According to this model, creativity is not just about the person, but also the environment, the process of thinking, and the final outcome. Robert Sternberg's investment theory from 1997 looks at creativity like investing. Creative people take risk by choosing unconventional ideas, and over time, those ideas gain value. And finally, Csikszentmihalyi's system model from 1996 sees creativity as the result of interaction between the individual, their domain of work, and the field, meaning institutions or communities that evaluate creative work. Together, these stories help us understand that creativity isn't just about talent or inspiration. It's shaped by the system, the process, and even by the limitations we face. In order to understand how financial structures affect creativity in real world projects, I interviewed Dr. Valerio Signorelli. He is a lecturer in connected environments at University College London with a background in architecture and urban design. Let's hear his thoughts on what creativity means to him.
So my approach of creativity, so the use of creativity in my research or my teaching is linked exactly to this. So how can I teach other peoples to use these technologies, and maybe also to take ownership of this technology and make their own product out of it. So using like web-based type of application, but always trying to keep it as simple as possible, as accessible as possible for them. So for me, creativity is basically this. So how can I use this approach, this co-creation approach mainly, with the different different users, I can say, to empower them to use this technology. And when I say different users, as so in my previous project, I worked with other researchers coming from other disciplines, so different vocabulary, for example. I work with the public authorities, so stakeholders in a urban developments project, for example, with citizens, so local communities, but also with children, so mainly with primary school children, together with the Institute of Education. So that is how creativity is important in my
Based on the interview insights and the creativity theories I explored, it's clear that creativity today is becoming increasingly tied to technology. As technological tools evolve, they open new possibilities for artistic expression, but they also come with rising economic costs. In this context, we can understand creativity not just as personal talent or inspiration, but as a form of empowerment through technology. The tension between creativity and commercial pressure has always existed across all industries at every scale. One of the most powerful examples of this struggle was between Pixar and Disney, when Pixar dared to say no to Disney in order to create a masterpiece.
Sergeant? Yes, sir. Establish a recon post downstairs.
Code Red, repeat. We are at Code Red. Recon Plan Charlie, execute. Move, 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 move. It's a big one.
Walt Disney Pictures presents
This story from Creativity Inc. shows us that creativity, even at the highest level, never comes easy. Toy Story might look like a smooth success on the surface, but behind it was 5 years of uncertainty, pressure, and financial risk. Pixar had to push back against Disney, who wanted the film to follow a proven, profitable formula, a musical. But Pixar said no. They chose authenticity over safety. They rewrote the story multiple times, worked through weekends, and trusted their creative instincts even though the studio was still struggling financially. The moment Toy Story was released, it became a cultural and commercial breakthrough. But what followed is just as important. After success came new problems: going public, satisfying shareholders, rapid growth, and pressure to keep producing. Ed Catmull, Pixar co-founder, even described feeling lost after reaching that massive goal. This shows a bigger truth. When creativity becomes part of business, it's not just about making one great idea happen. It's about surviving the systems that follow success. And the final insight is maybe the most powerful. Even the smartest, most confident companies can fail when they stop listening, stop reflecting, and let competition blind them. Creative power is fragile and it needs constant protection, not just inspiration, but structure, self awareness, and courage. In the next part of our interview, she shares a real example of how creative work had to adapt under both financial and external pressures. Just before the COVID lockdown, he was involved in a project with the Museum of Childhood.
Sort of a May event of play, that was in May. So literally in March they started the lockdown, and this festival was planned to be in May. So we had to, so they asked us if we want to cancel the funding because we already had the funding ready to be used, or to change the type of project to develop. Then we decide to continue to try another experiences. So basically we managed to organize the entire workshop online, also involving 3 different artists that they never worked with digital tools before. And so for them it was also another way to learn how they could apply their knowledge into a digital space, together with a group of children, more teenagers. And with all of them, we co-created this digital platform during this time of the lockdown. So it was more. So I wouldn't consider more a financial kind of pressure, but it was linked to time and how we could use the very little amount of money that we had to do a completely new and diverse type of application.
Jesse Shell says that listening, not creativity, is the most important skill in design, because real creativity isn't just about expressing ideas. It's about understanding others, your team, your audience, and even the project itself. And to understand anything deeply, you have to listen without judgment. That's where true innovation starts. In this chapter, he talks about the painful truth. Most game designers love what they do and would keep doing it even without getting paid. But love alone doesn't keep in the industry alive. Money is the fuel, and without profit, the creative engines stop. The book reminds us that in the real world, people who care about money often end up deciding what kind of games get made. It's easy to think, let the money people handle the money, and the creative handle the design. But that's not how it works. Decisions like cutting budgets, adding microtransactions, or changing game mechanics for monetizations, all of them shape the design, and design shapes profit. That's why Shell says, the one with the gold makes the rules. For creative people to keep control, we have to understand the business side at least enough to defend our ideas and explain how they bring value. Creativity and commerce aren't enemies, but they do need to speak the same language. Creativity doesn't happen on its own. It's shaped by systems, structures, and often by limitations. To protect and empower creativity, we need to understand not just the art, but the economics behind it.